obviously, we were introduced this afternoon with breaking news that Texas A&M's head basketball coach after 6 seasons, Buzz Williams, has left the program. He is headed to Maryland, signing a 6-year deal, which was went widespread with reports throughout the week that he was a potential candidate. I'm gonna have to give credit to 24/7 Sports Jeff Erman, who is the main guy on this, who kept us all informed, basically saying that it was a tough process where I think they were kind of going through wanting a younger assistant to maybe take over the program, which that's what I kind of thought was going to happen. But obviously, Buzz was the, I guess, most experienced candidate, and he's had obviously a track record of building programs, and I guess that's where Maryland wanted to go. And it's a little confusing to me, but at the same time, I've heard a lot of people say this was just, one of those coaching moves where maybe they thought that he was going to get offers somewhere else and they just had to get him while they could. And, for A&M fans and those of us in the media who cover this team, were you really shocked? Because I'll be honest, I wasn't shocked that he left. I was a little shocked that he left for Maryland, but after, losing 8 seniors, especially Wade Taylor, who obviously is the all-time scoring record for the program, losing guys like Henry Coleman, Anderson Garcia, a ton of depth, 8 seniors in total. Were you really that surprised that he left?
So I was not surprised that he left. I guess I was kind of surprised that Maryland took him. Maryland, their Big Ten program, a better basketball program, if we're being honest, than A&M is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of like, they're trying to do things in football, but like basketball is probably bigger at Maryland or more important to Maryland than football is. So I just kind of figured, I think Buzz is a really good coach. Mm-hmm. I think he's got some solid credentials in history and track record, but I think it was going to be really awkward if he didn't leave in some form or fashion because mm-hmm. It just seemed like he didn't really want to remain here. It seemed like the administration didn't want him to stay here either, but they didn't want to buy him out. He couldn't, if he didn't get this job, like where was he going to go? He's not going to walk away from this great contract that he's got. So not shocked that he left. I think it made sense for all parties involved, and except maybe Maryland. but I do like Buzz I love Buzz the person. I honestly do. I think he's a great guy and a great human being, and I wish him the best up at Maryland. But I think this is a really important hire. I think it's a big opportunity to do something really, really good for Trev Alberts.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the second significant hire for Alberts. Obviously, when he left Nebraska, dealing with, I believe, he was in charge. I'm sorry, with the Mike Early hiring, and that was with the baseball program. Obviously, sorry about that. And right now, we're dealing with obviously with baseball struggling in every way and facet. And I believe, they're playing. I believe they're playing right now, but it's been a struggle this season. And obviously, Michael Early has not, shined the way a lot of us thought he would, being that he was the hitting coach for the last 2 seasons under Jim Schlossnagle. Obviously, people are judging Trev Alberts by that hiring decision. So he is going to be judged, with how he goes about this basketball search, because there are a lot of candidates that are going to check boxes in certain areas. And I think a lot of fans are maybe wanting an offensive-minded coach after years of Buzz Williams, who is purely defensive-minded and has been on record kind of complaining about, well, we don't have the shooters, we don't have the offensive talent, so we have to play elite defense. We have to rebound. We have to be the better team in that aspect every game to win. And I think that, I started covering this team professionally in 2022. So I had years before watching Buzz. And so really listening to him after every post game, I was thinking, I don't think it's going to get better offensively under him unless he did what Bruce Pearl has done at Auburn, go get kind of an offensive coordinator type coach to run the offense, and he just coaches and does what he does. And Buzz really never did that. He never took that approach, and I don't think he really wanted to.